Hi, everybody, and welcome to part two of the RuneFest podcast featuring Crondis
Hello.
and Avernic
Why am I still here?
with Walter in the chat.
And it's
Hello, says
about
Walter.
time.
And so as you can tell, we very expediently recorded this only a few days after the last podcast.
Only a week and a half.
More than that, really, but yes. Now, our schedules just were not matching up, but here we are for the next go-around. We're going to be covering the combat segment and the lore segment on today's cast. I would open by saying that hopefully this will go by quickly, but you know what happens when I say that.
Especially when we talk about lore.
The opposite.
Exactly. But yeah, both these presentations were actually really solid. They answered probably my biggest pressing lore question, really, since I started playing this game. Can gods poop? The answer may surprise you.
Holy crap.
Oh,
But
jeez.
can we have like a sound effect of like the drum beat there? Or that works too. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the combat one first, because clearly that's what people come to this lore-based channel for.
Yes. Us and all of our combat knowledge.
Well,
I'm a completionist, so yes. But yeah, so really one of their big things they want to do is very similar to what they mentioned with skilling, is they're trying to diversify combat. So monsters with best XP, best GP, a nice mix of them, AFK, more in-depth active. Basically just keep a nice mix of creature types, experience gains, gold gains, and all that goodness.
Yeah, this was really their Slayer expansion onto the diversification of skilling bit.
And this was very already clearly shown with the Lost Grove, with the mobs having a best XP mob, a best drops mob, and one that's a little more in the middle.
Mm-hmm. As well as they said they wanted some of them to be like AFK and some not. You know, standard really diversification stuff.
Pretty much the diversification of skilling, Yeah, I can speak, I promise. Except with combat, so woo, they did it. This actually looks really great to me.
Skill.
Yeah, it is very clearly related as well to the idea of removing a lot of resources from drop tables. I was super happy with the way the Lost Grove drop tables were balanced. Minimal skilling resources in there, but still with good value.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that last time, is they had a lot more unique drops than anything, which is a good start.
Cute mushroom tiers.
Yeah, so some mushrooms in there, a lot of seeds, but seeds are mostly from Slayer anyway, so great. Stuff like Uncut Dragonstone. Really, the only things that really infringed on skilling was potato cactus and like Morchella mushrooms were the things I was seeing. And a little bit of dwarf weed. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with what we're seeing.
One or two overlap. When it's over 50% of the drop table, then it's a problem. But
like the moss golems, for instance, have some adamant ore, two types of grimy herbs, and white berries. And all of those are very expensive materials anyway, so I mean it doesn't hurt for things like white berries that they're adding them on there. And other things are uncut gems, coins, buckets of sand. What a skilling item. And seeds. So overall, I'd say they did a pretty good job with these.
Oh no, they're devaluing my daily.
Yeah, really. No, I like these. I like the Cinderbrain gloves. So it looks like a good start to starting to kind of pull back on how much skilling stuff is in a Slayer mob drop table.
Yeah, I completely agree. The less, the better.
Yep, the more we see of that, the happier I am. Let's see. Next, they talked a little bit about the upcoming boss Solak, talking about the way that his special attack system would work, which is different from the boss, attacking 4 times and then performing a fancy special attack, and then attacking 5 times.
Order as
special attack. Yeah. So they're doing something that I believe it was Ramen called sub attacks.
Sub attacks, which is basically just his standard attacks are just like kind of special.
Yeah, randomly his special attack or a normal attack will do something extra that players have to deal with.
Yeah, they were just like, we're tired of doing bosses that do hit, 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 special, hit, 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 special.
Yeah, it's especially fun on bosses like Araxor, where you can literally just sit there and in your head go 1, 2, 3, 4. Press a prayer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use anticipation. 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. It's dead. Like, it's boring. It is. I get like so unfocused on my screen because I'm sitting there counting to myself, and then I look up and I'm done already.
Then you forget what comes after 4 when you have to count to 5.
1, 2, 4. Oh, no, sir. 3. Say 3.
Oh no, dead. Hella death.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah,
confirmed with Solak we're getting the tier 2 dual-wielding ranged weapons.
Tier 92.
Or 92,
Who cares
I'm sorry.
about tier 2?
Tier 2, no, tier 92, yes.
Bronzier crossbows.
Level 1 wooden crossbows.
Followed by level 2 slightly woodener crossbows. Yeah, no. Tier 92 dual-wield range weapons, which will finish off the dual-wield weapon set. I admit I am still shocked that these didn't come from Menaphos. Putting melee on a Slayer boss surprised me, because they did ranged in the past.
I guess they didn't give any info on ammo for these, whether it's...
No, they did. The ammo drops from the Lost Grove monsters once Solak comes out.
Oh, you don't have to chop the trees of the roots and actually fletch them?
Nope. You just murder the monsters.
That's unfortunate.
I'm honestly curious if this is actually gonna kill Ascension bosses.
As if it hasn't already.
Bows? Oh, yeah. Bows are already cheap as hell.
Yeah, those bows are below 50 mil last I checked.
Like 30 mil, 35. Pretty.
I'm going to look, just for posterity's sake, at the time of this podcast being recorded.
It's the cheapest.
Ascension crossbow is 57,719,593.
That's incredibly
offhand, Ascension bow is essentially the same because you can flip-flop between the two of them.
Well, I apologize.
Yeah. No, I thought they were cheaper than they are now. I bought them back when they were like 40 mil, so maybe I should go sell mine.
I'm gonna check the G now.
Yeah. But yeah, this will probably do some damage, but you know, just like the other tier 92s, they haven't really done a lot to the tier 90s because tier 92 is a lot less accessible.
Yes, but also a lot less necessary.
It's more just that the Ascension bosses, you know, they require the keys to get in.
Yeah. Whatever. It's the same reason that the tier 92 melee weapons aren't very well farmed. It's because nobody wants to have to pay to attempt a boss.
And no one also wants to have to do Magister because he's garbage.
Hey, the recent patches they did fixed him up quite a bit. Actually, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, they did a pretty drastic series of changes to him. I believe they upped his overall defense was lowered, and he can phase while stunned, and like basically you just have reasonable accuracy rates now. They did a good job there. So yay!
Speaking of combat changes, Wyverns are better now as of like 2 weeks ago. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you freeze less, right?
Yeah, which also means you should bring an anti-poison because you don't cool off fast enough to get.
Yeah, now you're gonna just get poisoned.
Immune to it, so that's something to keep in mind. But they're not as trash anymore either. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was about all they said on Solak.
Yep, I'm pretty excited about Solak though. I think the design of it's really good.
Is that all they said? Did we talk about
older concept art of him was found pretty recently.
Yeah, they honestly didn't linger on him very long. They kind of just said, yeah, he's sub-attacks, and then tier 92. And
they talked about him more in the big reveals one more than anything. Right. Which is why I think they didn't linger on him as much here.
I think we covered most of that stuff too then.
Yep.
We didn't say we're going to push it off to the combat talk? No. I forget.
No.
But what is very, very funny is a year ago, I found a drawing that Neil Richards had done on ArtStation called Old Man Oak. It's Solak.
I mean, to be fair, he is just an int, so...
No, look at it.
I see.
It's pretty funny.
Looks like he's farting a tree.
Something like that, yeah. What's especially entertaining, too, is over a year ago as well, there's the concept for the Moss Golem that was posted on Neil Richards' ArtStation as well.
Also a year ago was
The ambassador.
Rip Ambassador, yeah.
Hopefully he'll get made eventually.
He was like the only boss I was actually looking forward to.
Can we just call Solak the ambassador?
He is the ambassador of the trees. He speaks for the trees.
Mm.
He is the Lorax.
He speaks for the anima.
Or something like that. But moving on from there. Woo.
Stalkers.
Stalkers. We are getting Seekers and Soulgazers at 71 and 99 Slayer, respectively. Added to the Zamorak Stronghold from Dat.
Dat Quest.
Dat Quest.
Dishonor Among Thieves, for those out of the loop. So I assume we're just going to go through one of the doors there, and voila!
Yeah, you got that horrendous quest requirement on there.
I mean, it's basically just like the Calgarian demons, where you walk in and, well, they're there.
Hello, guys. We've just somehow...
And I'm sure they will use...
It's not even like these ones have escaped from Daemonheim. We're just in a part of Daemonheim that nobody cares to watch.
And I'm sure they will use the exact same models like the Calgarians do, so...
Oh, there's no way they won't.
That's floor 61, guys.
That said, what's interesting about this one is this is not the first time we've seen, or at least heard, of Stalkers outside of Daemonheim. It's because in the Easterlands, we have an island that is a Stalker.
Yep, Seeker Synapse. Which actually goes along with something we'll be discussing in the lore talk.
Yep.
Which is, we discover that these have a different planet.
Ocularis.
Ocularis, yeah.
We kind of knew that.
Not... Yes, but no.
They had to be from somewhere.
Yeah, we knew that they were from somewhere else.
But now we have a name for this planet and confirmation that it's like actually a place.
And we didn't know that their planet was a sneaker peeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of sneaker peepers, it makes me very sad that these new Slayer creatures...
Yeah, they're going to be dropping them.
No. You guys are incorrect there. They are not dropping the sneaker peeper pet that you buy. That was a gaffe that they made on the stream, and they are actually dropping mini Seeker pets.
I see.
Better be.
Okay.
This was confirmed, I believe, by Osborne like a day later.
Okay, they definitely said...
When people started tweeting them, like, why are you devaluing my sneaker peeper?
Oh, yeah, they absolutely said sneaker peeper
on tokens on that.
Yeah, no, that was a fuck-up.
Okay. And then, very interesting, they're dropping the Hex Hunter bow outside, which is really weird and cool.
I'm excited about it, but it's going to be pretty funny because they've done such a terrible job of balancing the Hex Hunter bow in Daemonheim.
In Daemonheim.
This is a completely different item anyway.
I mean, it is, but I'm curious to see how it'll function on the surface world. If it will also just blow chunks or if it'll be decent.
Yeah, they said it's going to be T80 on the surface world, but it increases strength when you go against magic users as well as monsters that are weak against arrows.
Yeah, so it
could be pretty good. So those few creatures that are weak against arrows, you want this bow.
Yeah.
Yay for niche weapons?
I suppose.
Actually, let me see something. There's actually a lot of monsters weak to arrows. Y'all ready for this? Aberrant Spectre, Abyssal Guardian, Aram the Blighted, Air Wizard, Ancient Mage, Aquanite. So
far nothing actually
going A through Z.
I'm
just gonna run down this list.
There's automatons, banshees, battle mages. I'm looking for the important ones here.
Minecrawlers.
I think the main
Green Dragon, Kadarn mages, the Kadarn elves, the mages.
Dagon Prime.
Celestial dragons, Chaos druids, Calphite marauders. Yeah, Dag Prime, Dragonstone dragons. All the Gemstone dragons.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
That is a good one. I think the main problem is honestly just the fact that so many monsters are weak against bolts as opposed to arrows.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Gothix Wizards. Yay.
This is your new clue ball.
Imperial Mage Axe. Those are weak to them too. So this will be actually pretty helpful for Slayer, from what I'm seeing. Onyx Dragons, I mentioned all those. Pretty much anything Saradominist that's a mage.
So Walter asked if it would be applied to things that are weak to everything. I don't believe
Probably
so.
not.
And
No,
if they use magic, yes. If not,
yeah.
no.
If they use magic, because it is magic users as well as monsters that are weak against arrows.
The new Vine Crawlers from the Lost Grove are also weak to magic, or weak to arrows. So Yeah, if that's going to be best in slot for arrow weakness, there's actually a nice selection of Slayer monsters that are pretty decent there.
Yeah.
Gives that a lot more value than I was expecting.
What is the highest arrow user arrow we have at this point? Is it Siren Bow?
That's
or is it
Siren Bow for damage, but Araxite arrows otherwise.
Yeah.
The Siren Bow generates its own arrows.
But yeah.
Yeah, the top three tiers we have right now are Araxite arrows at 90, Wild arrows at 85, and Dark arrows at 70.
Well, that'll probably be pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hey
then.
guys,
nice
you know what Stalker we really need to see? The Seeker of Truth.
Yeah, for sure. It's dead, Crondis. Get your lore right. It doesn't even go here. Yeah, no, it's dead. Screw that quest.
I'll just leave that out there for anyone who wants to get
that quest. Don't Google it. It's not worth your time. You're gonna see what quest it's from, and you're gonna be upset too. Don't do it.
But that's cool. That's getting done at tap time, I think.
Yes, it is. Though I'm still really curious what happened to Mod Shogun's abyssal creatures.
Probably in.
I assume they're either in forever QA or.
I assume they're canceled
on pause. I think it's.
He suggested they would be out before Menethos after the game jam, and they're not.
So well, then they're
right
definitely
behind Thread Quest.
Yeah, we'll see though. Hey, it sounds like Osborne's trying to revive that.
Probably same with the demons.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but he mentioned something about bringing that back.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another thing that's just going to get slotted in unfinished business.
Yeah.
Not even. It's going to slide in almost unfinished business. Don't have to touch it.
Alright, weapon type diversity.
Yep. Yeah. Basically just taking one of the few good leaves from Darkscape.
Yeah.
Did they ever actually do this in Darkscape? Did they get that far?
I know
it was in the plan.
They did get that far, and it was not horribly handled.
No, that's probably the best thing that they should definitely.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the
everything they did to combat there and put it in here.
The basic principle behind all this was just like, you don't use weapons that are not either, your big two-handers or your dual wields. They want you to be able to, go out and want to use like a tier 90 dagger is what they, use as the example. Is have
and then
these...
they can start going back to tier 90s and putting in daggers as rewards.
They want to fill in these slots that are not just two-hand, dual wield, and that's it.
More tier 90s.
Honestly, I feel like this would best slot in with the mining and smithing rework if they wanted to do it, but I don't know if they'll get the time for it all at once.
Yeah. All the weapons are already classified. They just got to add the effects, right, and balance and test them.
Right, but that would mean they would also have to model daggers and long swords and stuff like that for every tier, which I don't know if they were wanting to do right off the bat.
They already, not for the new tiers, but they exist for the old tiers.
Well, for the old tiers, yes, but not for like the T90 tiers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the prices will fluctuate immensely based on the abilities, and all hell will break loose.
Yes.
Yay!
Except for scimitars, because apparently those are your standard baseline weapons.
Yeah, I remember that really threw people off when they first announced the mining and smithing. They were like, "Yeah, you'll get a scimitar," and everybody's like, "Wait, what?"
That's the why not sword? Why is it the scimitar?
Long sword, maybe?
I think someone in there is still living in like 2006, where if you were going to a new tier, you were automatically going to the scimitars.
As Jack was announcing this, Mod Rally was like leaning behind him with a scimitar to his neck. I helped make Alcarid. You're gonna make this place bumping again. Let's go.
That would actually make scimitars the worst weapon, probably.
Well, when it's the only option.
T90 blackjacks, let's go.
But when there's other weapons that get added in with the effects, like the halberd and stuff, then you don't want to use the scimitar. So screw the Kopesh of Tumikin and all that.
True. Let's see. Revolution upgrade. They're doing Revolution Plus.
Yeah, thank God we're going to be able to put thresholds and ultimates in the rotations. That's going to be nice.
Exactly what I've always wanted.
Really?
I've honestly always wanted
it. I have zero interest in this.
I want to pick my throw those out.
Yeah. If I just have my revolution bar running, the monster has 2k health left, and then I accidentally use like a double shot, I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, that's true, but I mean, like I think the main use for this would be like if you're using the mage sun one and then the smoke screen.
Yeah,
like that would be the most makes sense to me.
Death, swiftness, and sunshine makes sense. But like most threshold and above are abilities you really want to time and use properly.
Right. I mean, it's definitely not going to be something you're just going to throw in there, but there are definitely ultimates that you can use that would be good.
I might put like death swiftness at my tier 1 spot.
Yeah, that would definitely be what I would put. Or
now,
sunshine.
What I do love about this is that you can resize your revolution rotation.
Yes.
At last.
Yeah,
that would be
nice.
good. Yeah.
Finally, no longer do I need to stare at that yellow bar surrounding 2 of my thresholds because I don't have enough abilities to fill everything.
Or put some.
The worst part is even if you fill it up with basics, it never reaches the end.
It often doesn't get to the end ones if you've got your bar set up properly.
Mm.
Like, it'll be nice for my ranged bar especially to just be able to take Ricochet off Revolution if I want it.
Right,
so I'm less interested in the threshold ultimate use for this and just more about the resizing it. That'll be nice.
Mm.
Yeah, they also mentioned a style update, which they didn't go into too much detail about.
No,
they kind of just said
a little bit of detail.
They kind of just said they wanted to make it distinct, like it was pre-EOC.
Yeah. They've spent so much time trying to make ranged magic and melee equal to each other that they forgot that pre-update, mage was good, especially good at this thing. Melee was especially good at this thing, and they want to kind of allow those stylistic differences to come out again.
This is one of those things that Darkscape also touched on with melee being the tankier class, range being the more glass cannon, and magic being the specialist. You have all your different types of spells that do different things.
Right.
So I feel like, again, porting that over would be not the worst idea.
Yeah, I'm eager to see what happens here.
I mean, this was kind of something they originally did with like armor, where they had like the tank armor, hybrid armor, stuff like that.
And they're starting to do it again with like bladed dive. So now you have your dual wield melee reason for your extra mobility.
Yep. Another thing they mentioned too is taking mobile off the global cooldown.
Woo.
Yes, thank God.
If you use it while in combat outside of global cooldown, it won't generate adrenaline or anything. Same with bladed dive. But yeah, that will be such a huge quality of life improvement for things like Telos, where he's doing his, Gillinor smash thing where he charges forward, and you have to surge out of the way. Except you're on global cooldown, and he hits you in the face for 5k damage.
Mm.
Because you had 0.6 seconds left, because you were just trying to deal some DPS.
One thing I'm not particularly sure about the style update, though, is that they said they wanted to just make this with new content and new weapons as opposed to retrofitting it into older content.
Well, what they mean by that is, they're going to be adding new abilities that offer, clear differences. It's not going to be they don't need to go back and readjust what they have.
What we have now,
they need to add some things to give us some additional space. Because we've already got a little bit of it with melee having something like Berserk rather than its own Death Swiftness or Sunshine.
Right, and the corruption abilities for
magic. Yeah, like the corrupted ability that we got for ranged.
And magic.
Oh, yeah, and magic.
So adding things like that.
Oh, yeah, those two. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Shattered Worlds.
No, it's the salt one. That's salt in the wound.
Salt the wound. Yeah, salt the wound. Don't. We've already made one reference to that quest. Crondis, can we just remove him from this podcast?
See ya.
User has been kicked from your channel.
User disconnected.
If only this was TeamSpeak.
Yeah, really?
No, I'm not wishing for that.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I understand when they say, this is going to be a new stuff, because what we have is the base, and we don't need to change a lot of the base, but now it's time to start adding the more unique stuff for each
And just with what we've got now, it's definitely already seeing some influence with...
Yeah.
I think Bladed Dive is the best example of that mobility.
Yeah, Bladed Dive for mobility for melee, Salt the Wound for that kind of, the bleeding out effect.
Is it that just for phasing?
Is known for. Yeah, it's great. And it already has the raids ability too, where you can stack up stuff. So
right.
They've done a good job of giving range that kind of like. Even one of Range's ultimates, one that isn't very used, but incendiary shot, where you build it up and then it explodes.
Mm.
So if they can just kind of continue to improve on these differences, I think that'll go a long way.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then continue. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And then continue diversifying between dual wield and two-handed and stuff like that.
Yeah, they could do that too. I don't see that being like the first thing they're gonna do, since the diversity is already kind of like AoE versus single target right now.
Honestly, at this point with diversity, I just hope they get to the point where if something's weak to melee, you're not using magic.
Yeah. Abyssal demons.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, there's something in my throat. It might be an abyssal demon.
Oh, just teleport it out.
As we discussed last time, you are allergic to bullshit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Next up,
Dig is working on Shattered Worlds in his tap time.
Good.
Cool. Great.
Because it's
why not?
It's really bad. It's not really bad. It's just
in a better place now, but it's just boring.
Yeah.
It needs more expansion.
No promises. It makes me go back to it though.
If we get the darn quest about the witch, or even any kind of story about the witch, I'd be happy. Because she's literally
seems to be the standard rotation at this point. They do an update, and there's not gonna be lore, and we just know it's gonna happen.
It's gonna be 4 new objectives, and that's it.
No, I have a lot of trust in Dig, to be honest. I've never really been super disappointed by his work.
Maybe new Dig quest item.
Okay, maybe that's a little much. Yeah, no, you're right. He's done a couple things that I'm not a big
Tuska
fan
was not that great.
Yeah, Tuska, and I still cannot frickin' stand beneath Cursed Tides.
And Deg was on Call of the Ancestors, wasn't he?
It's alright.
Yeah, but I don't hate that quest at all.
I think I hate that quest more than most people do.
But yeah, like he did the Giant Mole, which I like, Mighty Fall, which I like, Rune Goldberg, which is great, Tuska, which wasn't, Mazcab, which is fine, especially as it further updates happened, Kodo, which was fine, Beneath Cursed Tides, which was trash, Tales of the God Wars, which was great, Heart of Gillinar, which had 4 great gods, and 4 great bosses, and then Shattered Worlds, which just clearly did not have enough time put into it.
Also, Invention Batch 2. That was good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Batch 2 was great.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Machines. Everyone make your mahogany plank machines.
Woo. Make those prices go down.
Wait, never mind. Don't make the machines.
To make everybody regret building mahogany machines.
I'm not regretting it yet. Still making tons of profit.
Oh yeah, it looks like they're trying to do another raids update without making more raids bosses. So fixed mechanics, clunky movement mechanics, the friend system, lowering group size requirements. So if we could get 5-man raids, I'd be really happy.
Yeah.
Reasons to do mid-fight stuff like jellyfish, and want to do more like insane feats. So I'd be eager to see what those are. I don't really care about the insane feats.
I think this is more needed than more raids bosses.
Making raids more healthy is something I have no complaints about.
The skip of the Beastmaster Durzag, find the door out of there.
Yeah, because if they can make raids more healthy, it gives them more reason to make more raids that players actually want to play.
I still want to play it.
Yeah, just keep doing it. It's great because they already have a very dedicated community, but it never hurts to have more.
Yeah.
So make it more accessible. You'll get more people playing. Fix all the bugs, and people won't complain.
Make it more accessible and just make it not crap.
Yeah.
The bosses are good. It's everything surrounding it is iffy.
The bosses are fine. I think Yakamaru is not a very good boss. But
I love Yakamaru.
I think his mechanics make no fucking sense.
How so?
Here is a wave of sharks. Woo!
That's just hilarious. You can't argue with hilarity.
It
is about the fact
comedy beats out logic at that point.
They introduced a new food called Eeligator, and instead of making a alligator NATO, they put a sharknado in instead.
That's a great point, actually. I'm gonna write a bug report right now.
No, I think a lot of his mechanics are just very out of place and clunky. The planks, what the fuck were they thinking?
I still like it.
But I really, really like the Durzag fight. I think that was super well designed.
I just hope if they ever do a raids too, it's actually like raids and not two bosses.
Give me, like, go play Guild Wars 2's raids. That's how you do it.
I think it just needs 3 more bosses.
Give me dungeoneering
stuff
better.
in between, and you're good.
Yeah. No, like, we need quality content in between because the jellyfish puzzle is just stupid.
Right.
Kill a giant swarm of enemies and then step on some.
What are you talking about? The best puzzle is that you need your bucket of sand.
The puzzle was actually the friendship you were building all along. No, but I'm eager to see what they do with just the improvements alone, and I'd like to see more in the future if these pan out.
Yes.
Ready to move on?
Yep. Being your own Slayer Master.
Being your own Slayer Master. This got people really psyched, and then really disappointed, and then kind of psyched again.
It's Meg. What else is?
No, it's like Meg combined with the aquarium.
I was about to say with aquarium style rewards.
So, which makes me go, yes, please, awesome, yes.
But with aquarium and Memorial, you're getting the rewards while you're doing the skill training.
Yep.
With this, it's its own. You just tell Meg what to do. You have to do Slayer to get it.
But you assign the tasks to the NPCs, so like I think that's pretty cool. And then you'll earn those perks as well.
So on these just random NPC notes, real quick, they were very unclear if it was just going to be random NPCs or if it was going to be the other Slayer Masters.
I don't think you'll give tasks to the other Slayer Masters, but I do hope it's NPCs.
That was kind of what they made it sound like, but I couldn't tell.
Like I hope it's just not some dude named like Carl that walks up to you like, "Hello, mighty adventurer, world guardian guy. Can I have a Slayer task?" And you look at them like, "Dude, I don't do that." And then like Kuradel appears in front of you like, "Actually, you know what? Screw it. You can do that now." You're like, "Oh."
My dream is that you give the task out, and then you can go to that place, see the NPC at the location you told them, using the weapons you told them to use.
See, that's what I'm really hoping too. I don't think that's going to happen, but God, I would be happy if it did.
That's too much, I guess.
Now, what I really am excited about with this, specifically, is I would really like to see the mechanics of why the hell you have to be a Slayer Master to give people assignments. Why can I not just tell Bob from Lumbridge to go kill 15 goblins for me?
So Bob will say, "Fuck you."
No, but like if Bob from Lumbridge asked me, "Hey, can I have a Slayer task?" Why can't I just go kill 15 goblins, dude?
Would Bob come to you, though?
I'm the World Guardian. Duh.
This is age ambiguous content.
I'm the Great Adventurer. I'm the Great Adventurer / World Guardian. Duh. Clearly we're famous if NPCs are coming to us.
Well,
point being, if I have 120 Slayer, people will come to me. So if somebody came to me and was like, "Hey, can I have a Slayer task, dude?" What is stopping our player from just going, "Yeah, dude, go kill 100 Hydrix dragons for me, man"?
I think it's more of they don't just want to do random NPCs or asking you for Slayer tasks.
Yeah, but like my point being though, like what makes a Slayer Master special? That when they tell you to go kill a specific creature, you actually become more knowledgeable and earn that Slayer XP.
They have a bachelor's in Slayer Mastering?
Sure, we'll go with that. No, that's just the kind of lore I'm hoping to see filled out. Like, is it some sort of magic? Is it some sort of, magic from like Amascut and her devouring power? Like, what's going on here that makes it that... What's going on here that makes Slayer Masters special and that the creatures they assign actually have that kind of additional power inside them?
And why was making yourself a Slayer Master in Menethos pointless?
Yeah, pretty much. But I like the rewards from this, and I really hope to see some more interesting lore here.
Yeah, lower rates on Slayer Store and chance to not use up a VIP ticket. Someone in the crowd also asked them why you can't give yourself a Slayer task if you're a Slayer Master, and they said, well, that's a bit too OP, but you might be able to do it on occasion.
That's cheating.
Because they were like, oh, well, we don't want you to just assign yourself, like A-roots over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I would just like, let's go with Gemstone Dragons. Next.
Do I have the soul yet? No.
Gemstone Dragons.
Honestly,
I'm
I
gonna
would
go
be
with
perfectly fine if
gems
you
and
could just
dragons.
assign yourself something every time once you hit 120. Like I
Once you hit
feel
120,
like
why
at
do you
that
care?
point you've done so much that it doesn't matter.
What's the point at that point?
Yeah.
I would, yeah, but if
Like
it didn't affect things like a Shabti unless your own personal dungeon, I might agree. But it would make certain Slayer mobs
Also, probably certain drops that
even
require
more annoying than they already are. Most of those like task-only mobs would just be unbearable.
I guess.
But yeah, plus like, you know, if you wanted to go kill the Queen Black Dragon for her pet, you would just keep assigning yourself black dragons. Or if you wanted to farm the Dagonoth Kings for their pet, you would just keep assigning yourself Dagonoths. So there are advantages to being able to do that too, and that is kind of dangerous to just let people do freely. I mean, just the fact the Slayer helm itself exists and provides such huge bonuses, it means that if you could just consistently assign yourself the best melee XP Slayer mob in the game, you could just go grind out your melee as long as you want.
Yeah.
With huge bonuses on your helmet.
I could get that. It's just a thought.
It's dangerous for free, but sometimes great. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
definitely on
you go
occasion.
to, let's say you go to Morvran. You're like, I need a new task, and he looks at you like, dude, just I don't care, do whatever you want, and then lets you pick a task every once in a while.
He says, okay, go kill 300 living wyverns. You're like, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do abyssal demons.
I would almost rather that you like walk up and he's just like, I don't care, dude. Do whatever you want. You have 120. You just like pick something, and then you pick him, and he's like, cool. You now have to do that. I'd be cool with that.
Are we at this point not getting another Slayer Master ever?
As far as we know, probably.
I assume we're done.
I feel like
It would
rest in peace,
pretty wide.
wandering sage.
Here's the thing: when they released Morvran, they released him with the assumption of he is the last.
Yeah.
I think they're very weary of adding more.
Right, because
I personally think Misa would be a perfectly fine addition as a final Slayer Master for above.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if she was like at level 100, I could get behind that.
The question is, right now Morvran assigns the best tasks minus like the crap Kuroda ones. So the point where we have enough new tasks where there are ones that are considered crap comparatively is when they can make another Slayer Master.
I mean, Morvran does
he
still
have a bunch of crap.
Yeah,
tasks.
He does have crap tasks just
He
because they wanted
crap.
you to have like a reason to use skips, which I think is just nonsense.
Of course.
At some point we'll hit a max.
Drain those Slayer points, yeah.
But we need more tasks,
like,
sadly.
Who does Aviancy tasks for him? Black Demons.
Going for
Camel Warriors.
Ugh.
Going for Soul.
I mean, yeah, but that's it. That's all you use them for.
Mm.
There's a lot of creatures on it. Necrails. Who the hell does Necrails?
Well, this is my favorite task.
I mean, at the very least, Necrails are an AFK task. I mean, it's not, Camel Warriors.
Okay, this is actually kind of
risk
funny.
Dying.
I'm on the wiki right now, looking at the Morvran's weight list. Like how much the rarity of it. For some reason, at the bottom of the table, somebody did a tally of what the total weight is for unknown reasons.
Even though that's completely dependent on what you have unlocked and not unlocked.
Yeah, I'm like confused why they bothered tallying it.
That could differ so much based on quests and Karam Jahar tasks.
Yeah, Firewatch, Tormentor Demons, all the Soul Devourers, Rune Dragons, Nil, Nightmares, Muspa,
Gemstones,
Ice Strike Worms, Gemstone Dragons, Glacors, Edimu, Dark Beasts, Crystal Shapeshifters, Chaos Giants, Celestial Dragons, Aquanites, Automatons,
Nightmares,
Adamant Dragons. Like, so many of these are quest locked, or you have to like unlock them and request that they can.
Yeah, there's no point.
So why bother?
Do your own math, kids.
Yeah.
Alright, we want to move on to the last point?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Hostilius. I am very conflicted about this one.
I'm freaking psyched about this one.
I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm like, why?
We are going to murder Hostilius, the giant demon in the abyss.
That we assumed was already dead.
And is not yet. I mean, I understood that he was probably still kind of quasi-alive.
Maybe if they give some bit of lore from the random abyssal ancient thing from...
They're giving a huge bunch of lore off this, because ModPie mentioned that they're making a casual mode for the questers who want to experience the full story, normal and hardcore. So
the way he described hardcore was hilarious. He goes, "I want to question if people can beat it." He goes, "If a single Jmod in the office can beat it, I will make it harder."
Which, that was of course, hilarious. Means that it will be killed on day one.
Yeah,
basically.
But I mean, I like that idea of like really trying to push the limits of challenge here. As long as he doesn't make it bullshit, where it's like you step into the arena and his auto attacks can deal all of your health, then like, cool, go nuts.
Bullshit like Virago, you come in, spawn with 1 HP.
Yeah. You have 1 HP and there's monsters rushing at you, good luck.
1 HP, your prayer's drained.
All of your food is turned to rotten food because of invisible ghasts.
Your summoning familiar just dies.
And you're bound in place.
Woo.
And a cutscene is playing while you're being attacked.
The glitches from that alone would be enough to kill you.
Oh yeah, in real life. Yeah, but I'm really excited about this. I think what is it, Abyssal Overseer or whatever it is in old school?
Abyssal Sire.
Sire, that's what it is. It sounds like this
to the max.
Like but like taken to an extreme.
Right, because the Sire is already like part of the environment.
Yeah, the environment, also has that kind of like birthing pod feel.
Right. I wonder how they get the scale across in this, because realistically, it should be bigger than 10 times your screen.
I think realistically, we're going to look down at it from a distance first before we descend inside of him.
And then, as we do in every boss encounter, drop down a crumbling platform onto him and...
Well, I mean, I think they got Tuska's scale down very well. It's one of the few good things they did with her. Her scale was...
I don't know, her scale was still really weird.
But hostility...
That she was apparently as big as a planet, yet you walked her longer in like 2 seconds.
Can't be as big as a planet, she's on a planet.
Yeah, she's on the planet.
I don't know, they said at first she was as big as a planet.
Hyperbole, definitely hyperbole.
It's weird.
She has to be big enough to take bites out of it, but like... pretty small bites.
Good old hyperbole.
Also, don't forget, scale theory, all that goodness.
Oh, yeah, great. Gotta love when that's introduced.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the Hostilius concept, though, and I'm really excited to see what...
I mean, killing him from the inside is definitely going to be unique, so...
I hope it comes out.
Yeah, I do too, especially since it's in tap.
There's always that chance that it doesn't. Ambassador.
I will say, though, that Jagex seems to have reverted to their pre-2013 style of design, which is, you, Jmod over there, what do you want to make, dude? Make it.
I have no problems with this. I think Scrum teams screwed us over.
I thought Scrum teams were very well handled for the most part.
It wasn't that I don't like Scrum teams. I think they gave us some quality updates. I think they weren't given the time to make the projects that they had a passion in. I think that's
the key word. I think Scrum teams were on a schedule.
Yeah, they had a schedule. And they didn't have the time to have passion in their projects.
Third update rotation, you had to get an update out. Mm-hmm. With this, older style, it was, what do you want to make? Go make it. When it's ready, we'll ship it.
Yeah,
which is happening with Solak, which has me very happy.
Now everyone's a ninja. You're a ninja. You're a ninja. Everyone's
Your mom's a ninja. Your dad's a ninja.
I think we honestly have
Kimbo's charity tree is a ninja.
At this point.
I'm trying to figure out what's the line between which mods are doing things they want to work on and which have tasks.
They all clearly have some semblance of a task, but they also are given a lot of priority to do.
I feel like Ramen's gotten to do whatever the fuck he wants, while Stu is stuck on free-to-play updates. Not that he doesn't want to do it.
I'm pretty sure Stu is doing all the small stuff that he's wanted to do for a while.
Ninjas, though.
And then Joe is stuck on clue scrolls.
I feel, and totally especially Stu is doing a lot of what he wants to, from what he's making it sound like. I think you can be confined within the restraints of
Yeah.
being a ninja, but at the same time work on what you want to. When it
Like
comes to like
Stu had spent all that time on quest fixes in his tap time. So
Yeah.
they literally were just like, hey, you want to keep doing like fixes like that? Cool, Ninja Team, start going crazy, dude. Go nuts. Like from the way his Twitter sounded, it was less we need you to make these free to play and more him going, hey, can I make this free to play? Which is great to me.
Although apparently he did fight to keep Missing Presumed Death pay to play.
Yeah.
But that got
I
forced.
Understand.
That got forced to free to
I
play.
understand and agree with him, but I also understand why they want it free to play.
Speaking of, what are the new? They added recommended quests to that today.
Yeah, they did. Because
yeah, they did.
Boss.
Kosti's troubles. Wait, it's not crossed off for me.
Lame.
It sucks.
Did you ever finish the full thing with the other gems?
What? Yes. Why is it not crossed off?
Because you suck.
Log in and, I'm gonna log in and see if it's just not crossed off. Wait, yeah. No, the full thing isn't required for children to mod. Just the...
I know, but why would the full thing be required for either way?
Because it's a recommended, so if you do the full thing, you get more story than...
I've done the full thing. I did it for the rune score.
Yes, smart.
Huh.
Yeah, let's pop this boo open. Quests.
Somehow we've gotten to this from combat talk.
Well, yeah, because we're talking about tap stuff.
True.
Yeah, no, my cost chase troubles is not crossed off either.
Bug.
Okay, it's probably bug.
Report bug.
Stu!
Live on podcast bug finders. How do you report bugs now?
Alright, so while they're looking for bugs, I'll just finish up these last 2 points that were not that very important and we're not going to spend time on. Animations are not that high in importance due to the scope. That's basically combat animations. Someone in the crowd asked about this. They basically said, can we get more? And they said maybe, but it's not going to be something that's going to be important. Something else that was asked was, why is there so many melee attacks in EOC as opposed to magic and ranged? And the simple answer was that there are 2 melee skills, as we are all painfully aware. So it's...
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to have...
I totally get it.
More. But they are aware that it does kind of cause a slight balance issue, but it is because there's 2 skills. And
still think they should combine those skills together.
I don't know if they should combine the skills. I said back when they did EOC originally that it should have become the melee skill and then the accuracy skill.
Yep.
The Darkscape idea was make strength into the power skill.
That way too.
One of the 2
stats.
One of them just become a melee skill.
So the requirements still make sense with power, so things that took strength take power now.
Yeah.
There was one other thing that I remembered that I'm now blanking on, so I guess we could just move on unless it pops into my head again.
You'll remember it an hour later.
Alright, so that is the combat segment. One and done.
Combat happened. Combat will happen.
Only took us 45 minutes.
Hey, we were pretty much on the money with that then.
No, you estimated 15.
No, I thought we settled on 30.
No, you said 15.
I went up to 30 and then ended at 45.
On the lore.
It's additive.
Kind of on the money-ish. Yeah, if the 2 of us added together, we're good. On the lore, so since combat was supposed to take us 15 to 30 minutes and took us 45, we'll see you guys in 2 hours. But in all seriousness, let's go.
Well, they talked for 2 hours about this. An hour and a half, so we have to talk for at least 3.
It was super smart of them to put the lore marathon at the end, because it literally just let them go like, oh, an hour long?
Yeah, let's go 2. Yeah. It was very unfortunate that at the end they had some audio issues and was no longer audible.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, if this section runs long, we're gonna go ahead and split this into 2 parts, probably. If that's the case, hi, welcome to part 2. If it's not, ignore me. Move on.
Brief intermission.
Please don't copyright strike me.
And video's taken down.
Okay.
Yep. Alright, moving on. So they did an overview of Armadillo, Saradomin, Zamorak, and Zeros.
Gods.
For some reason.
Because the gods are popular and they were requested gods.
Honestly, I was very afraid when they started out with Armadillo. I'm like, oh god, I know where this is going.
It was some odd choices because they just chose 4 of them and then just went, oh, there's more gods? No.
This was the thing that I think they've touched on so many times in the past couple of years, but for some reason people still want more. At this point, they're a little bit scraping the bottom of the barrel of what they can tell us.
Yeah, no,
like the Saradomin and stuff, that might have been better for a quest. That might
Philosophy of Armadillo.
I think if they want to keep doing Armadillo, just give them a quest. Like, we all know where this is going to go eventually.
Push the Citadel mini quest ahead and do that one.
Always finish a fight you stop. Never run.
That's true. We could do the Citadel.
Yeah, literally, 2 of these bullet points are the same thing. Never run from a fight. Always finish a fight you start. Okay.
We're using the Reddit thread, by the way.
The weird one I found about
transcripts off.
The really weird one I found with Armadillo is protect your people even from themselves.
Yeah.
That was an odd one for me because I feel that's more Saradomin than anyone.
That's very
for Armadillo, though, it is actually pretty accurate. He protected the Aviancy, but then if they fucked up, he just was like, "Yep, nope, piss off."
Yeah.
So that was a thing too.
We found out that he became a god through his other Elder artifact, and he found the. No, I don't think we did. We knew he had to.
Well, then I knew that. You guys might not have.
Oh, you're so special.
Yeah, but this was basically our confirmation of that, was that he ascended with his other one, and then he found the staff later on.
The one he's ashamed of using.
Yes. I'm still of the opinion that it's going to be the hammer, but...
Probably
that's what I'm feeling. Though, didn't they confirm also that he didn't destroy Avernic?
Yes, it was already destroyed.
But he did something.
He did something.
He probably hit his dad too hard in the head and he died.
Something like that, yeah. Sure, we'll go with that.
I didn't know it was the Elder Hammer. I thought it was the hammer.
Yeah, he tried to build a home and accidentally just nailed it a little too hard.
Cue earthquake.
I found it weird that they had to
maybe
specify.
He broke
I found it weird they had to specify that he ascended to tier 5. Like, it's kind of implied at this point that tier 5 is the general ascension level. Like, that's what you start out as.
Yeah.
But oh well, I guess that was just something they wanted to put in there.
And then good for them. Staff of Armadillo.
Yeah, this is all pretty basic recap stuff.
Yeah, we did find out that
a few small pieces of go ahead.
We did find out that he is wanting to move on from talks in Endgame, where he wants to move the Aviancy to Tardiad.
Those talks aren't going well for some reason.
Yeah.
So different than Rite of Passage. I don't know how they choose which direction to go in.
I mean, I really like that concept. I think it's an interesting idea.
I think it's an interesting concept, but the way that they made it sound was really weird. It's the elves aren't really enjoying the idea, but the elves aren't on Tardiad.
Right.
Like, what attachment do they have to Tardiad anymore that this is a problem?
Yeah.
Unless some of them start going back, but...
Which, I mean, I could also assume that now that Saren is back, maybe they're thinking about going back.
I mean, this almost reminds me of the original pitch for Children of Ma, where they were like, oh, the Majorat, they'll have some stuff that they don't want to leave behind. And then it...
Leave behind on the world that they haven't lived on for centuries.
And then it never went anywhere.
Well, the things they didn't want to leave behind was clearly damn Mama.
Nah, they left Mama behind. They killed Mama.
Just killed an entire world. Man, we're gonna get so many copyright strikes.
None of them my fault. All yours.
All of them my fault.
Alright, Saradomin.
Every single one of them. Yeah, Sarah Dorkman, let's go.
Saradomin, he got his god complex from being a cop. That shocks no one.
Hey, keep politics off the YouTube channel.
Yeah, he was a cop. He was following a criminal one day, ended up in a cave where he found the crown The crown was calling
right
out.
There, criminal scum.
The crown was calling out to him. He put it on his head, and then he became a Smurf. And then a few years later, he became a god.
Am I the only one who just has this hilarious idea of him like entering a cave, seeing the crown, and going, "Hey, buddy, hey, put me on, dude, hey, no, think how freaking cool you look, dude. Put me on. Come on, do it."
No, my imagination, it's more like the Lego movie. He falls down the giant hole, and then he becomes the special.
Yep, there we go. You are the spackle.
But
yeah, that would be great.
And then general Terragard stuff, I guess.
Yeah, basically just said what we already knew about Terragard.
There's Magisters.
There's Magisters, and they were kind of assholes, and then he tried to make things better, but he ended up being Saradomin.
So then he went to Hallow, which is the new name for New Domina.
I liked this one. I think that gave Hallow some
I'm actually not complaining about
good
that.
lore.
Retconned.
And they also, this was a funny thing, they gave New Domina a reason. New Domina is the capital of Hallow.
What I really appreciated was it gave reason for Hallowland to be called Hallowland.
Yeah, they gave it Hallowland, but it was New Domina is actually not the planet name like we used to assume, or not even like what they would call the planet. New Domina is a floating island that he made that travels around the world to keep it in the day cycle.
Yeah. Which is super cool.
And that Domina is the name of the city on Terragard that Saradomin is from.
Yeah.
So, New Domina, stuff like that.
The Indomina Rex.
That won't totally confuse people eventually, if we ever see all these places.
We won't.
Where are you at, Domina? Which one?
Which Domina? The new one. But they both just came out, dude. They're like...
It's like if
they're both new.
It's like you go to Fresnescate. Oh, this is where New Lumbridge is.
New Varrock, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of New Varrock, when is Stu's achievements category for that coming out?
No idea.
Jeez, man.
We're still
he posted those weeks ago.
We're still waiting on the Quest Accept screens, which finished months ago.
Yeah. Who knows? Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, Zamorak. I don't think we got any new information with him.
We know everything there is to know about Zamorak. I'm pretty sure he's like literally told us everything you could ever want to know about him.
He is chaos.
Yeah, and
it's
there's nothing.
Honestly, he's just the one that we know the most lore about because I feel like they try to make him the most relatable in the player sense.
Well, he used to be Majorat, so he has a very clearly defined history that the other gods
that's true.
Have hidden a little better. Like he was a mortal during a time when he
was also the ugliest of all the Majorat.
True.
I don't know. Inakra thinks he's pretty hot.
Okay, Inakra wants wings, so I don't think we need to use her as a guide.
She wants the Z, Crondis. I don't want to talk about how long I've been wanting to make that joke for.
Oh, Jesus.
It's been made. We can awkwardly laugh past it now.
We can move on now.
An even smaller section.
Yep, Zeros didn't really have anything new either.
Didn't want his past, didn't want to become consumed by his past, made by a plaything by his mother.
Zeros, are we done?
Yeah, I mean they did kind of mention something that was, I guess like philosophical was he didn't enjoy what Ma did to him, but at the end he kind of became what he hated.
Yeah.
Which I think honestly is a really good story.
Yep, and that was pretty much what we knew about him.
That's pretty it's a common trope.
It is a common trope, but I think it makes sense, especially for his character.
Consumed by it, dramatic love.
Because it makes sense even in the sense of Siren is.
Yeah,
she can only function in the sense of love and compassion. So.
Yeah.
Unless you didn't sacrifice.
Unless you get her too near the death altar, and then she becomes like crazy.
I am death. Yeah.
Oh, the Dark Shard.
I'm just Brita Saren. Yeah, the Dark Lord.
The Dark Shard kick.
All right.
What to deal with that?
The armies.
yeah, this next section is about the armies of the Third Age, and what you just heard was our coverage of the armies of the Third Age. In all seriousness, it's just a bunch of military names and what they did, and realistically, we're not going to ever need to know this stuff. It's cool side lore, but realistically, us spending any time talking about this on this podcast would make it unreasonably long and honestly kind of uninteresting. Like, if you care about military tactics, please go check out the video because they talk pretty in depth about this. But
or look at a spreadsheet. It's also well put that way because
there's a spreadsheet.
The kind of information it is.
Yeah, basically the only real new not just straight name stuff that we got from this was that the Avianti, or not Avianti, the Icene culture is based on Greek. So all of their names are Greek as opposed to like with Zamorak's, demons, they're all Latin. So
yep.
There you go.
That's about it.
So there we go. Cosmology. This one's great.
Yay.
This was a fantastic section.
Arguably the best.
Yeah, I think they did a great job with this. We basically finally got a look at the planner gallery. It is finite, crafted by the Elder Gods. It's kind of like a big canvas. The abyss kind of surrounds the plains like a honeycomb. It's the trash can of the Elder Gods.
Yeah, and then
Void,
the space.
Void is
area.
just straight nothingness.
Now, I like the way they explain the Void, which is basically the area that the Elder Gods didn't get to.
Yeah,
it's just the outside of the bubble.
It's dangerous. It's nothingness.
And
pure nothingness.
It's nothingness.
Never been shaped.
But creatures live in it for reasons.
Well, uncreatures, creatures that are trying to devour into nothingness as well. What I think the pests really are is what happens if reality forces the void to come through.
Possibly, but another thing that I was thinking was maybe that they just have the ability to travel through the void. Like how general teleportation goes to the abyss.
That's fair too.
Because I think I remember at one point in the Void Quest series they were talking about how the Void creature's homeworld was like a swampy area and stuff like that, and we know that that's not going to exist in nothingness. So
I'm really unsure what they want to do with it.
Yeah, so I definitely feel as if it's more of they can move through the void.
I continue to lament the loss of spiders versus void pests Halloween.
Seems like we're up for a 6th stage void night quest.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Or at least something Shattered Worlds.
Actually, that would be a really good place to put some story. Yeah, and then they mentioned the periphery, the membrane separating the abyss from the void. It's what the Elder Sword can cut.
Mm-hmm. This is how Gothic's fucked up.
Yep.
He accidentally cut through the periphery and made the void portal that we know and love.
Yep. But it's also the way it was able to travel between worlds.
Yeah.
So each plane is pretty much aligned with an element, which is why it's a finite number.
The planets are aligned with elements.
Except for the first and last ones, which
this was a new thing that I think it's gonna confuse a lot of people for a while, because this is like the third time that they've changed what the universe is, honestly.
I hope they stick with this.
Yeah. I'm actually really happy with this because it gives us a fairly limited number.
Yeah, it gives us a limited number, but it also gives the use of the term plane from, that has always been used. Just some use,
No, I agree with you. It's a nice change that I think will help kind of clarify and fix up some of the weirdness that has been a problem for a while.
Yeah. So we know that the universe, as we know it, is divided into 4 planes: the lower planes, the elemental planes, the catalytic planes, and the balance planes. So the lower planes are literally all planets that exist from the previous revision. And they kind of retconned in
4 to 5 of them total.
Yeah, they kind of retconned in 3 more, because previously we always assumed that Frenescape was the last one. And now we have Infernus Imperium and Ling, which is the Gleikor homeworld.
So smoke, blood, ice.
Yeah, smoke, blood, and ice. And that was something that they also mentioned was like the reason that Majorat and vampires have this common thread of smoke, ice, blood, and shadow is because that was the elements of the previous revision.
The lower plane. Yes, the lower plane stuff. So that's what we're accessing with the ancient spellbook is the last revision.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then Shadow is missing because that is a plane of its own that spans every world.
So
kind of like the Upside Down.
So are we positive that that is the Shadow Realm?
That was definitely an image.
Okay.
On one of these things. They showed a line that went over everything. That was
so I mean that would make sense.
So every world has a shadow plane, which is what the shadow element.
They were very, very not wanting to talk about the Shadow Realm when it was brought up in the QA.
Not sure why. We've kind of gotten past the point in the story where it was at the forefront.
I think
of this Slisky stuff.
I like the theory that it has something to do with the Sixth Elder God because they got really timid when that got brought up too.
Somebody actually specifically asked about the Sixth Elder God.
Yeah, and they
really danced around that one.
Yeah, they completely didn't say anything about it.
I'm glad there's something super secret though.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that kind of hint of mystery again. And I almost feel like the Void may have something to do with the Sixth Elder God at some point as well. Because, with the pest and stuff, like we were just talking about, like a world, like hold the phone. And that could be a decent way to kind of pull things together a little bit.
We'll see if we ever get that far.
Yeah, if we ever get there, based on the rapid pace of storytelling we're on this year.
Because with all these different worlds, we're totally going to see mass amounts of content there like we have on the one we have now.
Yeah, like Tardiad and Ketsi.
Those aren't really worlds at this point. They're
Slayer dungeons.
They're dungeons. They are dungeons.
Yeah, so moving up from the lower planes, we get to the elemental planes. It doesn't look like right now we have any of like straight air, fire, water.
At the very least, they didn't tell us anything.
Yeah, if they exist, we don't know about them, or they just haven't told us yet.
It's very possible that, like, Abena... Is Abena even listed?
It is. It's smoke.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. They related all these to the combination. So we have Muspel is lava, Abena is smoke, and Ubisk is mud.
Yep.
Good mud one for the mud planes.
I agree. I'm actually kind of surprised that Abena would be smoke. It did feel more like an air to me.
They pointed out that it was surprising, but they said there was a reason for it.
We do clearly have an elemental world of each because they mentioned them and talked about them. The Earth, Triangle, Water, Diamond, Fire, Pentagon, Air, Hexagon.
We don't know either which one it is that we know of or that if we know of it.
Because we have a lot of worlds that we already know. But being able to take Infernus, Vampirium, and Leng off of these certainly cuts things down a little bit.
And it's possible that we could learn more in like Elder God quests, because whatever world they are, they would have been built by just one of them, not the combinations we're seeing here.
And based on like things like last RuneFest, where we learned about like Shananias and all that, those are worlds that just Jagex hasn't told us where they slot into yet.
And it almost kind of like draws back to what they talked about when they originally made this whole universe thing planetary, was that the Elder Gods broke off and did their own thing for a while.
Yep.
And that's what I assumed they meant by elemental planes, but apparently they came back before they went up to Catalytic. So
it was just kind of like a mix and match, I guess.
Yeah, to make the combination worlds, I guess we'll call them.
Except for whatever their pure worlds are, which we don't know.
Yeah, which, I mean, that makes sense. Have each of them perfect their pure world and then start to create together as they experiment. That does kind of make sense to me.
This doesn't make sense in the form of previous thoughts on locations of which worlds were close to which.
True.
Usually Ubisk and Avena were thought to be closer than most, but
you're not wrong there.
We'll see how that goes.
Yep, we will.
Yeah, so I liked the way they described the catalytic planes was basically like you're going from standard elemental power to these higher forms of almost transcendence, where you're
Yeah.
taking the aspects of body and the aspects of mind and law, and you're turning these into planets. And so what they gave us with the catalytic plane was that body is Ocularis, Terragard is law, Ketsi is mind, Naragun is nature, Hollow is astral, and Tardiad is soul, which is okay.
Should probably just go back to Ocularis real quick and recap. That's the Stalker
Yeah.
homeworld.
Yep.
Just in case that video
What's
got cut off.
really interesting about this one, which I really like, was that for each of them they have, who they think is created by, and they have, so like with body, they have Bic plus question mark, law, win plus question mark, mind, jazz plus question mark. What is the question mark?
That's the
it
name
means
of
we
the
don't.
Elder God.
Does it
question mark question mark question mark?
Yeah.
The name.
To me, that makes it feel like it has something to do with the sixth Elder God. But
in my eyes, it was me just thinking that we knew that one god was involved, but we weren't sure what else happened.
That's also a possibility.
Some of these is questioning, like, how is when related to law other than blue?
Yeah, true.
Or how is... No, that's pretty much the only one I have questions about here. I guess when also with astral. Why?
Yeah, I think those are... they're just answers that we need still. And a lot of this is cosmology stuff that just they aren't going to cover just at RuneFest.
No, observatory quest 2.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Balance planes, pretty easy. Exactly one planet.
Gielinor and Xanaris.
Yep.
That's 2.
Xanaris is a moon.
Moon.
Still counts.
Moon.
To the moon.
Don't belittle the fairies planet.
Basically, the way that they described Gielinor being the balance plane was they took all of the knowledge that they learned between the elemental and catalytic planes and just pushed it all together. And that's what made the
perfect harmony of all the elements.
Yeah. And so that's why we can make all the runes. Although that does question. So say we go to Tardiad, could you only craft a soul rune there feasibly?
No. So what we know about the elemental planes is, and all of them is just basically that's where the power is strongest. So it has the closest connection to the soul there.
I wonder if we could unlock a soul altar there.
Or the soul altar is there.
Soul altar's in the underworld. At least the way it looks.
Yeah. That's the problem, is that they kind of
I feel like the altars
forgot
are all
their own lore
on Gielinor because the balance, so they're all there.
Because the original discussion that we got back when Searcast did that interview with the JMods at RuneFest years ago was that when you use your thing on the portal and you travel through, you go to a location on Gielinor with the closest tie to that element, and then using the altar itself actually steals power, imbues it with power from that world.
I feel like you can maintain that with this, and there's just these other worlds. They have their own soul location or their own
potentially
location, which could make sense.
Although that said, the cosmic rune is not even on Gielinor; it's on the moon.
Yeah, but wasn't Xanaris just a part of Gielinor that broke off?
That was the secret to balance. You needed a moon.
There you go. Yeah. They couldn't. Clearly, Io wasn't good enough because it didn't even have stars, man.
That was the secret ingredient. They need an extra Walter.
Sugar, spice, everything nice, a little bit of Walter, and a moon.
Oh no! They did say something about Aya or Jaya or however you pronounce it. Yeah, it does have a star. They're not freezing to death.
Cool.
Their planet is just covered with, I guess, a very thick atmosphere or something, so they can't see. They can't see the stars. It's not that the stars don't exist.
What rune would you pin Yaya as, if you had to take a guess?
Death.
Death.
That got dark.
The planet full of trees and all that?
Yeah, but they've all resigned to their debts.
Yeah.
Good fun, Crondis.
Also, is there a blood rune world that's not Vampirian?
I'm sure there is, actually.
Huh.
Because if Vampirium's pre-revision, or was pre-revision.
There's a smoke pre-revision and a smoke rune world.
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah, no, you're right.
There's gotta be a
They also mentioned...
Yeah, because there's Smoke and Furnace and then Smoke Abana.
Wonder what that'll be.
They also mentioned that there are worlds that have power that we don't see or know yet. So, like, they mentioned the...
I'm pretty sure that was just them going, well, if we ever want to add more runes...
but it's like the electric power, which is in the, what's it called? The
kilowatt plane.
The kilowatt plane, yeah.
Yeah, but isn't the kilowatt plane just the clouds above Gielinor, according to Enlightened Journey?
I don't remember
you're right, there's kilowatts up there.
Yeah, during Enlightened Journey, when you're traveling above the clouds, guess what's up there?
You're gonna make me...
Kilowatts!
You're gonna make me remember Enlightened Journey?
I am making you remember Enlightened Journey. This is pertinent lore.
Actually, now that you mention it, I do remember that, but I never would have.
And I'm pretty sure that,
but it does specifically say other plane, kilowatt plane on the fairy rings. So
that's not wrong information. That is, the JMods didn't actually know the correct information. Possibly. So they intentionally lied to you.
The wiki page does not say that the kilowatt plane is the clouds, but that you can see kilowatts inhabiting clouds. So we don't have any confirmation either way yet.
Yeah.
We need to quest for that.
Yep. On the other hand, one of these days I really need to pop in and reorganize the multiverse and realms category thing on the wiki, because with all this new information we have, it would be better organized. Anyway.
Alright, I think that's it with the planes.
Yay.
Let's get the movie.
Yeah, another thing to quickly brush over. No, the old idea sounded really bad. I don't really want to watch Ritual of the Majoret, the movie. I played Ritual of the Majoret, the quest. And then apparently they had a recent talk with a Chinese movie company who's known for making monster-style horror movies, and they talked about doing a cave goblin movie. No thanks.
Yeah.
Nope,
the key here is...
Can't say I'm interested in that.
Don't make a movie where your key demographic will know the entire plot before you go in.
Yes.
Start with that.
Yeah. Make something original and unique, like something like starring, I don't know, the signature heroes. I mean, that's
here's the thing.
Made them for.
You can't make a movie about an existing storyline, because it's either going to be it already, or they're going to have to change so much so you don't know it that it's going to be unrecognizable.
This would have to be like a story that the signature heroes did something before they met the player. And
I mean, from what I understand, that was the messy situation that the Warcraft movie got in. Was that they were telling an existing story, but they changed it so much that it wasn't recognizable.
Exactly.
So...
The movie you make is Dawn Ascent.
End of the day...
You got Suro and you got Ivan.
End of the day, just don't make a RuneScape movie. Is the easiest way out of this.
I mean, I would actually think a Dawn Ascent movie would be really cool. For those who don't know, I know this is going to sound douchey, but for those who don't know, as usual with obscure lore drops like that, Dawn Ascent was a White Knights operation that is literally only mentioned in a Underground Pass book.
And now Death of Chivalry.
Oh yeah, and Death of Chivalry, because Owen mentions it then.
It is funny that he brought it back from Underground Pass.
Yeah. And that's how Ivan died. Like I think seeing the original killing of Ivan.
And you got Suro becoming a Temple Knight from his White Knight.
Yep. Plus Dark somewhere in there. So yeah, like he would get a promotion in the film, like at the climax or at the end. We'd see some kick-ass like dungeon crawling through the Underground Pass, which would be perfect. Clear evil guys with the Kintra, like that would be a pretty damn cool movie. I would watch that.
I will take.
Now that I think about it, Underground Pass deserves a discussion section because that lore is messed up.
God, yeah, it is.
But yeah, that's
the movie. It hasn't happened. It probably won't happen the way it's going. So
yeah.
Yep.
They basically said the original reason that it was canceled from like the original movie was that at the time, game movies were just kind of going downhill because they were all terrible.
Haven't they always been going downhill? When were they ever going uphill?
I mean, they made a bunch like mid-2000s, but they were all bad.
The problem is when the studio just like hardcore steps in, like what happened with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Like, can you name a good video game movie?
No.
There you go.
Super Mario Bros.
No. Yep,
I'm joking about that one. Thank you.
Hilariously the best.
You know what's funny is that people actually say that's a good movie because it's so bad it's good. No, it's bad. Yeah. I don't care how bad you think it is, it's still bad. No.
The Resident Evil movies have a couple like alright ones.
Yeah.
Although and you know what? No, I was gonna say the Pokemon movies, but those just don't don't fucking matter. Those are literally just the show, but here we're gonna make it a couple hours longer.
I thought Prince of Persia was okay, but I hadn't played the game at the time, so I actually realized it was pretty bad.
Video game that doesn't exist. Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Okay,
I'm excited for the upcoming Tomb Raider movie, but I don't think that's gonna go too well.
Lara Croft.
Because I like the actor in it.
But
yeah, no, they just don't. They don't tend to be good.
It's there shouldn't be a reason why it's not. You just take an IP like you do with a book, and you make something good with it.
But the problem is that they just don't. They make them campy. They don't give them a big enough budget. The design is poor. The writing is poor. It's rare that a quality writer is drawn to video game concepts.
I don't get how it's different than any other IP.
Honestly, I think it comes down to the fact that you're gonna have creators that just aren't passionate. It's the same way with TV series or movies. Like you have,
I think the important thing
or even book movies, is that if you don't have a director and a writer who are passionate and understand the story in the sense that someone who loves it does, it's gonna come out as a paycheck movie, and that's gonna be it.
And of course, the other problem is somebody that's passionate about it isn't necessarily good.
That's true.
Like we just got the new Blade Runner movie, written by the original writer of Blade Runner, directed by someone clearly passionate about the work, with an $150 million budget, and it was incredible. And it's a sequel to a piece of work that is considered incredibly influential. How many directors, how many movie writers do you think that play a video game and go, that was influential to my movie work? None.
Edgar Wright. Somehow.
Okay. A little bit. And I'm saying this is a huge fan of Edgar Wright, but like it doesn't show.
That's the closest I could think of.
So like, it's not that a video game can't make a good movie, but it's that the kind of people that you want making a video game movie don't care about video game movies because they care more about other films and creating something artful out of their own ideas or other movies that have inspired them for real.
Yeah.
So like if I could get Denis Villeneuve to do a video game movie, I'd.
But there are directors out there that do great in working in existing IPs that aren't their own.
Oh, for sure.
Like J.J. Abrams or something like that.
Abrams, pretty much the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep, so
So what I'm hearing is if a RuneScape movie is made and it's not written by the one of us four, it shouldn't be made.
Pretty much, yeah. Sure, we'll go with that. Either that or all the J-mods write it. Just let Rowley write it, damn it. Just let Rowley write it.
Rowley and Stu.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, we want to move on to races.
We spent way longer on that than anyone would have ever predicted.
Yeah, we weren't going to talk about it, but you know what? It was an interesting conversation.
It was longer than 0 minutes. Yeah, too long.
We don't really need to talk about the ice scene here because we pretty much covered all of this except for the wing clipping.
Yeah, that was.
It's not as bad as you thought, but it's still bad.
It's still bad, but I think they tried to tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
I love the way they said it too, where it was like, oh, Ceridome did this awful thing. Except it's not that bad. They've done it for ages. It's fine. They're fine. It's all good. It's fine.
I feel like there's a difference between flipping and pulling.
Falling in with them,
Yeah, he did just straight rip it out.
That's different than clipping.
Yeah, there wasn't clipping. He just put his hand on it like, bitch.
Yank.
Nope.
So, But, yeah, pretty much everything else here was...
we covered most of this with Ceridome, so...
Ilyanka.
The Ilujanka.
Ilujanka. They're all jank, they all suck, they're all gonna die.
Yeah, the Ilujanka.
They're all gonna die because of the Oludai. Haha.
It's a world of cold-blooded creatures, so if we go there, we probably have a freezing meter.
Yeah, they have a sun, but apparently they don't have a moon.
And they can't see the sun because of dust.
They can't see the sun or the stars.
There's a lot of dust. They have the Ulundai, which is a religion where they die. Suffering is part of the grand design, is even on their slideshow.
It's basically the religion of nihilism. Shit happens because it happens. This is how it's destined to happen, and you will die.
Life happens, and you die. The planet.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is why I kind of feel like it's aligned with death a little more. Like they're cool with death. I love that they even made space on their spreadsheet for dictate several superstitions that the Ilyanka hold dear. Do not sleep against the red leaf trees.
Oh yeah.
Drink tea from
that was a funny thing. Was like
I feel like that last bit. I feel like that last bit is like a dig at one of the J mods at work or something.
Well, it was like the way they explained it was it's a religion of sight-based or observation-based living. Of there was an Ilyanka who something bad happened to him as he was leaning on a red leaf tree. Therefore, if you do that, that means it is bad and going against the Olundai.
Yep.
So
that's not much evidence, but
yeah, it's tribal.
They're clearly a scientific and evidence-based community.
Clearly, yeah. I get a lot of Avatar vibes from this planet.
Yeah, I am too.
So it's James Cameron's.
They're just they're Avatar if they were all hideously depressed and didn't care about dying.
And they're all sitting above the largest vein of unobtainium.
Sure. Yes. Go, Jake Sully. Copyright strike number 4.
But yeah, that was really all the new information we got on the Ilyanka.
They also said that they're not trying to save themselves. There's only one new child in a decade.
Oh, they did say
their world for the other species.
They did say that if Vindicta ever found them, that she would be very mad.
And we have no news on that one from One of a Kind. What was his name?
Hannibus.
Well,
that's because at the end of One of a Kind, you made a choice. So
he doesn't exist anymore?
He was
he exists, but they haven't figured out how to shoehorn the decision into one single story choice.
Yeah, they Haseeled him. So
for now,
I know that sounds a little like nasty. The whole like, they haven't figured out how to narrow it down into one single story choice. But like,
I mean, that's what it is.
They can't realistically make 2 different choices like that.
Well, then you don't make a quest about you make one about Yaya, and you chose for him to go there, then he's just there.
I mean, the fact that choice has caused the RS community to literally make a verb for doing this.
Yep.
Is pretty bad.
Zanuck the shit out of it.
Oh, I was thinking Haziel.
Haziel. It's Haziel.
That works too.
Which is funny because Haziel is no longer Hazieled. So.
Yeah.
No.
But Zanuck is like Zanuck has been doubled down and double Hazieled.
Zanuck they didn't give a shit about. They just went right.
But Zanuck, they ended up
you could literally kill
her
or let her go off and die.
Regardless,
but then
she's gonna die.
You can choose to bring her back or let her stay dead. So they Hazieled the already Hazieled character. And gave lore to those who unhazieled her the second time.
and set up for a Soul Obelisk thing. It's like
which Menaphos actually delivered on.
Yep. I was surprised.
I was impressed.
Even though the Magister's still shit.
Magister's lore is quality, though.
Yep.
I think it's a little random, but sure.
Okay.
Alright. Orcs, Rargs, and Faergs.
They were all genetically engineered.
If anyone does not know what a Rarg and a Faerg are, go to... Yeah, don't. But if you want to know what it is, go to the burial place in Gutanith. Dig through some coffins for a while, and eventually you will come along a Rarg or a Faerg bone, and that's all we know about them.
Yeah, that's their bones. Basically, they're other races that Bandos probably made.
No, they weren't other races. Orcs. They are like split-offs of orgs. So basically, they're the org equivalents of like Mogres and Jogers and stuff like that.
They're the raw version of orgs and the Fey version of orgs.
Yeah, but we knew basically nothing about...
Basically, they're big goblin-y creatures.
Yeah, we knew basically nothing about Rargs and Faergs before this, though. Rargs are the support roles, Faergs are battle management. That's about it.
Yep.
And that's probably all we'll ever get.
Probably, because they're all dead, so...
It's kind of inconsequential.
But then so were the orcs for a while, and then suddenly weren't.
Zarador. And Zarador.
From what I believe we know, actually from Mahjane, Rorgs were a cross of ogres and orgs.
Oh.
Do all
and
orgs have
Faergs were a cross of also ogres and orgs.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, this source I found from Mahjane is from 2013.
What was he talking about then?
Let me get the full context here.
Probably from Birthright.
Oh, they actually have on this list though on Faergs.
Here we go.
Fairly big between orc and org.
I don't think we've defined exactly. Hey, our favorite fussy fusser here, Fusswell.
Fussy.
Asked, and apparently since there's still orgs on Ubisk after the wars, can we assume that they were not entirely wiped out during the Odd Wars, save Grodor, as was previously thought, and are they now? Also, what about Faergs and Rargs? Are those native to Ubisk, or did Bandos indeed breed them himself? The relevant part John answered was, I don't think we've defined exactly what Faergs and Rargs are. They're probably subtypes of orgs or ogres rather than entirely separate creatures. Bandos probably created them by selective breeding out of the original ogres and orgs who were native to Ubisk.
Yeah, I remember that quote.
And that's all we know.
What was that a Q&A for?
I think it was just all the lore Q&A on the forums.
It was. Right. Dramatic drum roll as I reload it. Gods, their races and species.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm also about 90% sure this was not a John A. made thread, but just him responding to some people. Because there's quotes from Fussy there.
Is there a requirement in culture that all orgs' names end in door?
No, but once the evolution of doors finally comes out.
Rip the evolution of doors.
EOD, come back to us, baby.
If you don't understand that reference by now, you have
go back a couple April Fool's days.
Yeah, go back a couple of years on our channel. It's there.
It's not even on this channel.
Oh yeah, it's on the Searcast channel, isn't it? Basically, we made an April Fool's joke that the next big thing coming to RuneScape would be the evolution of doors. in which Lime scripted out a super long-ass thing, and we did it.
It was like an hour-and-a-half podcast. It was the greatest thing ever.
I cannot believe we got that much time out of it. Moving on.
Alright, so we've got the Majrat and what they're doing after Children of Ma. I actually really like this section, honestly. So, Azanadra thinks he's getting a bit too close to godhood, and he's not happy about that. He does not want to get to godhood because he thinks that would kind of go against his, what's the best way to say it? Friendly relationship with Xeros.
Although a god serving another god would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's implied that Xeros has had other gods under him back in the Second Age. Poke, poke, Flamtier better be a god, quote. Poke, poke. Kazard, Khazard wants a new role model, or he has a new role model now under Zamorak, now that he knows that he's his dad.
The Azzy bit with the Abyss.
Oh, yeah. He's looking through the Abyss to deal with ancient evil. Did they specify what that
probably
was?
Probably Hostilius.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Hostilius.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be a tie-in with the Hostilius boss.
So there's
Khazard knows who his dad is now, so he knows who to look up to.
Daddy.
Karshai is gone. He left Gielinor and returned to the lower...
Except for when you go visit him in Relica.
Yeah, except for when you go and visit him in 5th Age Karshai form. But he's still... He's gone.
Do we know how he's traveling?
Went to the lower planes. I assumed magical Bilrak portal magic.
Sure.
Something like that, sure. Yep.
He is new V. New V.
New V. Inakra, she's really weird. She wants wings. Because why not? I don't really get
I love how they gave like a serious update for everybody, and then they're like, oh, Inakra. Yeah, she wants wings.
Like, this one is so random. Why? Is it
so
just
fanfic?
It's so random that that Legend Arts went and did guns for it. I love that.
He literally photoshopped Zamorak's wings onto her.
It was so great.
Like, and that actually got me thinking when I saw that art was, does she want to look closer to Zamorak? Yes. I assume. Yeah. I assume that's what it is.
I love how like in depth almost every single one of these are, except for Wahi's, of course, and like
except for Zamorak.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's not on the list, so who cares? But like Equinox is like remembers being a leader. Karshai's like has given up on Gielinor. Karshai is a new role model. Zanadra is approaching godhood, and Akra wants wings.
She has the least motivation of anyone. I feel.
What else is she doing?
Yeah,
dicking around.
And of course, what's going on with Wahisidal? Whatever. He's doing stuff.
We don't care about him, I guess. It's not popular.
Acthanakos, I actually kind of really like this one, is the fact that he's tired of being made fun of. And he remembers being worshipped, and he wonders if that can happen again. Does that mean that's what the Camel Warriors are? Do we know a timeline on the Camel Warriors?
Well, we know, like, the Camel Warriors are old. We already know that.
So
I think we have a new pharaoh on our hands. There's the finale.
It leaves me concerned that they're not done making crappy camel stuff, but...
Yeah, camel theme stuff is it.
No, yeah, Camel Warriors was the dumbest
rune should pick a new animal. Time. He should phoenix and pick a new animal.
Oh my god, yes. I was going to be like a phoenix, but then Armadil told me he had a copyright on that. So I decided to go with the dodo instead.
Just pick a different desert animal and do that.
Yeah.
Do crocodile and show up at Crondis' place like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
There's a phoenix in the desert.
That is
Firebird.
True. And Crondis is literally going to be like, bitch, that's my turn. he can do the desert goats.
Okay,
there we go.
Yeah.
They're kind of close, right?
Goat god.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. He can go from camel god to goat god. Goat god confirmed.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the new canon arc.
And then we'll have to fight those creatures using the new mountain climbing skill.
On the top of Jazz's back.
Yeah, sure.
So Bilrak is apparently just Bandos number 2 and thinks that the God Wars never ended, and just wants more fighting because now he has Demon and all these monsters.
What is super convenient is that technically the new God Wars is just getting started.
Yeah,
God Wars.
I mean, I guess he has the excuse of he was down in Demonheim for so long that he kind of lost time. But
it also went batshit insane for a while.
Yep, that too.
See how
Wahi, they don't have it written on here, but I do remember what they said about it in the podcast, which was basically he's kind of questioning his loyalty to Zeros because he's tired of getting.
Thank God, because I saw it written as A in there, and I'm like, is that really all they said?
That's really what they said. Someone had to ask again. Someone asked.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what they said was he's kind of like questioning himself because he keeps getting left out of things. Like Zeros didn't even tell him that he was back.
Yeah.
The
Which is really entertaining.
The player
to me.
had to go and tell him that.
Yeah. It's really entertaining to me because this is actually a topic we've discussed on here numerous times.
Yeah.
Where we mention how Wahi just keeps getting left out and clearly is not as important as he thinks he is.
Yeah, he constantly gets the shit end of the stick. And
and definitely in Children of Mahi was feeling that.
Yeah.
Switching. Yeah, that's one of the things I wish happened in Children of Mahi, was like switched allegiances or change of any kind.
I don't see Wahi going to Zamorak.
I could see him teaming up with Karshai.
I could definitely see him going. I could definitely see him going neutral like Karshai, but I don't see him going to Zamorak.
Would anyone else go neutral? Zemo. Zemo would go neutral. He'd go Team Zemo.
I was gonna say he wouldn't join the other people on a team. He would
he'd be like.
He would just decide that he's not a god, but everybody should treat him as one anyway.
Pretty much, he does that already. He's like on his own.
Yeah.
Got his fortress, got his army.
Pretty much.
Yeah, like, this is me, I am amazing.
Hasil, they didn't say anything new about. They just, oh yeah, he's a Mosseret. We already knew that.
Still a Mosseret that decided to become a Mosseret. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And that, for whatever reason, gave him horns.
Because Mosseret had horns.
Because reasons. No, they didn't.
Mosseret.
They did not.
No,
he got horns after he changed. That was confirmed.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah, that was confirmed in Children of Mahi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
Weird defect.
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe he just glued them on.
Yeah. And then Zamorak, they kind of just mentioned how, in Children of Mahi, he acted like he cared about the Majorat. It's basically just because they're the last of his people.
Yep.
It's all he has left of his original life. Yep. And so even if they don't follow him, he still does kind of care about them. So
they're still Majorat.
Yeah. I think it's kind of got that, Lucian thing going on. I don't like you, but I don't want to kill you.
I don't like you, but you're related to me. Now that they no longer need to slaughter each other.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually really interesting how so many of the races with a fatal flaw that have been, a major focus recently, no longer have that fatal flaw now.
Because
something has happened.
Because story progression.
Because I think, now the Majorat no longer need their rituals, the Dragonkin are no longer attached to their stone.
Well, we're going to get there in a second.
Yeah, I know.
But to be fair, fatal flaws do kind of exist for the sake of how can we fix it. So
right, but I feel like we keep solving and we're not starting anything new.
That's true.
In an era where we're constantly pushing to finish things, we also are starting to run into the problem where we're not having anything new. We're just finishing things.
Yeah.
So we're running out of quest series because we keep finishing them and we haven't started any new ones.
Dragonkin. Stone is dead, or stone's destroyed. Curse may or may not be broken. They're very elusive about that answer. And what is the backlash on Karapak? Did it do anything to him?
Is he a god?
Probably not. Yeah. We saw what happened to the last one that tried to become a god, so...
Abomination Part 2?
Something like that.
This one's even less of a real boss fight.
Yeah.
They said that Karapak is continuing his experiments, but now he has a new focus.
Yeah, instead of needing to break the tether anymore, he just wants to very likely just understand how they can reproduce and live on.
Even though he
probably just gain power.
Even though he has a son.
True.
Yeah.
You can't reproduce. He's my child.
Well, here's the thing. I assume that those are kids from before they got cursed.
Yeah. None of these guys are young.
Yeah, I assume the curse happened...
Casual 10,000-year-old kid.
Well, yeah, but I assume...
Well, yeah, they're all pre-revision,
well, yeah,
so they're all casual.
Well, yeah, I assume they became infertile after the curse was put on them.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Either that or they're pulling a... Yeah, either that or they're pulling an Ilyaku, where it's like one every decade or something.
They just have to bone a ton of times.
Yeah.
I do love how they mentioned in a live stream back in 2012 that there was probably a dozen or so hanging around, and there's now 16 named ones.
Yeah, and there's still more that we don't know
I mean,
about.
a couple of them are dead, but still, there's 16 named Dragonkin now, which is pretty crazy.
Are there more Dragonkin than Majorat at this point alive?
Yeah, there are. Sakurith, Sithath, Strithass, Calabath. Last of these is dead, right?
Oh, Calabath is
I
the
don't know.
best.
We don't know
We don't know about
Last
Lassies, actually.
Karapak, Thalax, Tarshak, Sokath.
The only ones we know
Terrakat,
that are dead are Tarshak and
Caliphix.
4K.
Yeah.
That's
Escon,
just off the memory.
Zendathath, Torcus. Like, we know that most of them are alive because they've shown up recently.
We gotta have a Calabath faction going on.
Calithax is fine. Well, Tarshak is, well...
We know
It's fine if you go start an instance.
We know there's one on Fossil
we
Island.
We also know that Vicendathos is alive because he actually showed up in Endgame.
Yeah, he did.
It wasn't like they made up a new Dragonkin. They just, took an existing one.
I actually would never have remembered that was him because I didn't pay attention. But
yeah, in fact, actually, in his histories, we know that he hid during the Great Revision, so he was born pre-revision.
Yeah,
he's just also old. And even more interestingly is that his lore even goes into him trying to kind of create his own family.
Now, are they mortal now, or are they still an immortal race?
That's the big thing that I think is going to come out of the fact that the stone is broken. Are they now mortal? Can they die?
I think.
Or when I say can they die,
I mean,
can they die of old age?
I assume the story going forward is that they're going to be able to start aging, but they can't reproduce. So they need to fix the reproduction problem.
Yep.
More dragons.
Yep. And that was it on their main segments. We got into the Q&As.
Yeah.
These are some...
There's not a lot of crazy info in here. Like, we know poop? Officially that Armadil's artifact didn't break Abana. Apparently the criminal Ceradoman chased wasn't important. Family counseling for the Majorat. Woo. I do like the fact that we officially know that the older artifacts can actually adjust their size based on the user for Scherzies. We already kind of knew that.
We kind of already knew that one.
But some of these questions are like, why?
And not only does it change size, it also changes shape because the crown just decides to become a pointy thing as opposed to a helmet.
Rite of passage will involve the Guardians of Armadale.
Yeah.
Eleanor, so there's
Who was Obisuth?
One of Armadale's husbands, right?
Oh, that's what it was, yeah. Wait, was it? Hold on.
Yes. Obisuth was a male Aviancy farmer and the second husband of Armadale.
Yeah.
Anima is delicious, and Brassica Prime claims to be the god of deliciousness.
Yep.
So the elder gods seek him. This was confirmed.
Let's see.
And then they basically just said again what they've been saying about the godless for years, which is they're going to
here was a good one. The blood planes are both in the lower and higher planes. Does this mean there's a reiteration and then smoke in this kind of world then? So there's an interesting overlap. It seems like there is a greater kind of magic from previous revisions. There are also runes not necessarily used in that magic, those smoke runes and fire runes, so that's likely what happened in that situation, was that they were probably reverse engineered, that ancient magic to some extent, and went back to those lower planes to try and work out how they worked and harness some of their latent powers, a way of creating worlds around those powers. The planes of cosmology we only see a few examples of. There may be some undiscovered or never heard of.
So they remade a blood planet for this revision based on the
one. Exactly.
Okay.
I do like how they fit in Dimension of Disaster into the cosmology, which was basically like
alternate universes.
Well, yeah, it's like the void goes on for
it's the
an infinite amount. So in this void, you have these bubbles, and the Dimension of Disaster is just one of these bubbles.
Yep.
I feel that could easily get out of hand if they overuse it.
Yeah, I think they need to use that
they're using it for the Dimension of the Damned. I feel like don't use it forever again.
I'm actually kind of annoyed that the Dimension of the Damned isn't just set in the Dimension of Disaster. That seems like a huge waste. But
they're also explaining every single thing away with its anima. Why can't we use the regular trees for barriers? Why do we have to use the reinforced ones? The anima weaken the trees. So And that's why there's zombies, except for the Wizard's Tavern yourself and the Cellars and Anima.
They had a question about what happened if we didn't defeat Tuska here. It pretty much just that it would have obliterated large parts of Gielinor, and then slowly things would decay.
They would have shut the game down, said bye guys, and that's it.
Apparently, Rite of Passage is on their unfinished business radar, but Mod Raven is busy. Please keep Mod Raven busy.
With pirates.
They didn't want to answer the question about how many revisions have there been and how many Elder Gods, because they don't want to go back into that infinite regression thing, where it's, well, this set made this set, which made this set, which made this set. Because it's where does it begin? Like, obviously, there does have to be a first, but that's not going to be something that they can visit without it being infinite regression. So it's just best left to the imagination.
Oh, here's another good one. Last time we saw the siphon, it was stuck in Slisky's gut. So is it lost in the depths of the heart, or did someone get a hold of it? And they just replied, not going to specifically answer that question, but you have the staff blacked out, and then you didn't. So it's somewhere.
That's not true. If I remember that quest right, it was on the ground, and then it disappeared.
Slisky hit it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, we stabbed him with it.
And then he overtook your mind while he was in your mind, and then he hit it.
Supposedly, yeah.
No, the staff had magical appearing and disappearing powers in that quest because it's on the ground and now it's not.
Now it's gone and now it's somewhere else. Anyway,
the quest was bad.
In regards to the Shadow Realm, is that something being deliberately created or just naturally occurs and they go, it should be revealed at a later time? So clearly they still have more plans with the Shadow Realm. Here's another good one too. People ask if they had any plans to use Sally from the Idle Adventures game. And they said that they don't have any current plans, and they're not sure how legally they can use it. Since
they don't have the rights to Sally, so no plans. Sally is owned by another company, so...
That was a thing that isn't happening?
Yeah, Idle Adventures has some really weird copyright issues. So...
Yeah. Apparently, we've learned the name of a new character from Rite of Passage called Shivira.
Guardian of Armadillo.
Yeah, he's basically the new Guardian of Armadillo. He's
taking Marshal over from, of the Guardian of Armadillo.
He's, taking over from Ikov or something?
Instead of Idria.
Or Idria, that's what it was.
Also cool was that we got some further answers about Fire Warrior of Lysarchus.
We did?
We got a dodge.
More about Ikov. Yeah. They said Ikov wasn't a magister, not a direct relation. The Fire Warrior of Lysarchus is a deep thing to discuss, and we can't talk much about it right now. But it's mentioned again.
How much of that was planned when the quest came out, and how much has been added in? Like
all of it. All of it has been added.
Every single bit of it.
It was just completely random being added
in? Lucian's random shout about his daughter, just becoming lore.
Suddenly turning into Moya, which was great. Like I love when they do stuff like that. Though.
It's like, let's make a temple for the Guardians of Armadillo. Should we call it the Temple of Armadillo? No, Temple of Ikov. That sounds better.
I mean, to be fair, these are quests that existed in RuneScape Classic, so...
Yeah. I mean, I do hope to see some proper use for what the fuck Ikov is, but...
Yeah. When we get Terrorguard expansion...
Alright, guys, our biggest question of the whole night. Do gods
poop?
Holy crap,
they can if they want to.
Yes, they can if they want to.
Why would they want to?
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah,
to feel human again?
That was deep. That was deep, Avernic.
Or to feel burn again?
Yep, no, Marimba wants to throw her poo. That happened.
Oh, yep, good point. Yeah.
There we go.
So we already knew they could. GG.
Does Braska Prime poop fertilizer?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Great use of a question, audience member.
So they mentioned the Fremenic and Terrorguard again, which is basically that Saradomin is really old and that he kind of forgot about the Fremenic, and they kind of forgot about him.
They just didn't care, so they're like, hey, Gothic's found us. You're cool now, dude. Awesome, great.
Yeah.
Is there any, like, solid explanation for... Is, like, the Fremenic afterlife... That's not Terrorguard. That's...
No, it is...
Their imagination of what the Terrorguard underworld was, but in the Gielinor one?
It is their new underworld.
Well, see,
because
this
they've
is
established themselves far enough away.
well, see,
But
this
it's
was
not
the this was
new-
the weird thing was when they first started this whole underworld lore of you go to
Right.
the underworld of the home you or the planet you think is your home. That the reason that they're not going to Gielinor is because they don't consider Gielinor their home.
But Astrid got to us in Nomadology.
Yeah,
from that one.
It doesn't make any sense.
And the
Quite honestly.
Magister describes the Terragod homeworld as a long haul in the middle of a frozen lake. So, like, they have the thought-out version of that.
Yeah,
true.
Honestly,
So
all
I think
that's
it's
really
their
messed up.
imagination of the Terragod one, but in the Gielinor one.
I can see that.
Okay, another one of my favorite silly questions here. When can Saradomin expect to receive his punishments for killing the cabbages in Edgeville and Death of Chivalry? And they reply, we've already given you the ability to regrow the cabbage field. Let's just move on. Also, how many cabbages have you eaten? Who's the real cabbage murderer here?
Eating them's different than burning them. That's
Fair.
totally different in cabbage.
What if he burned them so that he could come back, collect them, and eat them later?
But he didn't. We cleared them.
You don't know
no
that.
matter what.
What if we ate them?
Overcooking
What if he was trying to
cabbage
make us a
is
feast?
wrong. They were beyond crispy.
Yeah, but moving on. I'm actually a little disappointed in the answer to this question about Char. People asked what's the ramification of Char, and after the Angel of Death lore, and they were literally like, she may go live with her and make marshmallows.
No. You know what this sounds like to me? This sounds like a dodge. This sounds like they know what they're going to do.
It is a dodge.
They know what they're going to do with Char, and they don't want to say it.
Yeah, it definitely is a dodge.
Wasn't Char's assignment after Fate of Gods to watch the gods in the Slisky game?
Yeah.
She did nothing?
I thought her task was to watch Slisky.
Okay, then she did nothing.
Yeah.
She did nothing.
Yeah, but she's supposed to go chill with Nex now.
Nex also did nothing.
I was really hoping they would give us more of an answer
That
to this, but
whole scene after Fate of Gods, nothing came with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Point there.
Any update on the Karamjan god? I was hoping they would give us more on this. They basically said they know who he is, but they don't know when they're going to be able to tell us.
They're pretty stalwart on they're not going to say it until they get to do that little bit of content.
Like this has been something that Osborne has been teasing at us for years. Yeah, we never voted that down, from what I remember.
It was in
we about the Camelot stuff.
No, the Karamjan stuff.
Oh, the Karamjan stuff.
Apparently, it was attached to some content in a content survey that we voted down, and we don't know what it was attached to.
No. When they did a vote about what quest we wanted, Karamja was an option, and it was very poorly voted.
I don't remember which one.
I don't remember that ever.
That was the one that resulted in us. That was the one that resulted in us getting Heart of Stone.
No, this was.
No, that was the Elder God quest. That was the one that was between like which specific Elder God quest do you want, or do you want it to be a generic Elder God research quest?
No, there was a series of polls leading up to that one.
Was it like in the standalone section?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe that was it then.
That's my guess anyway.
No one remembers this poll. Poll it again.
Yeah, you can go find it on the website. Anyway, future plans to mix Camelot and Temple Knight. Please just do this! I don't care how mixed the reaction is. The people that are saying no to this are dumb.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are. If you're against this,
it's just changing names, guys.
It's changing names, and it's fitting the Camelotians deeper into RuneScape's lore. I know that there's so many of you that are nostalgia sluts out there, but stop.
I mean, at the very least, if they don't want to hook it in with the Temple Knights, they could just change the names.
If my camera is on right now, I'm staring into your soul.
Honestly, just stop.
My favorite one is when they argue this is a medieval game. Like, no, it's a fantasy game. We can have.
It is a Magitech fantasy role-playing game.
At the very least, just get the
where
name.
We have a god that is a talking cabbage.
Just get the names.
Don't give me that.
Get the names King Arthur and Melvin out of there. Melvin. Get it out.
Like, just we have a great opportunity to take an existing piece of lore that is ridiculously out of place. Stop whining about it and just let it happen, please. Yeah. We need this. We really need this. This is big. I know it's actually, like, in the grand scheme of things, very small.
Yeah. Do it with the Sears Village rework that they're doing.
Yeah, no, that would be a great time to do it.
Castle's being revamped.
But people have even offered to rewrite the stuff in the quests for them.
Here's the thing. Yeah. I don't believe they're ever going to take a quest written by a player. To be perfectly honest.
They have in the past. And you know what's even funnier? Guess what series that quest is in?
I don't remember a quest written by a player.
Camelot series.
Oh.
quest is it?
Holy Grail.
Wait,
The
what?
player didn't write that.
Yeah, that's player co-written.
That's like.
I don't remember.
Pretty
that.
much the entire. It's super old, but this was a player idea on the forums that they took and made.
That's just copying a story that
I
exists
know.
in legend.
Well, kind of, but like basically they pitched the whole like Fisher Realm thing and all that, and so they used it. It is the only like player somewhat written quest in the game, and it's in the one quest series that we want basically erased.
Well, no wonder the Fisher Realm sucks.
Yeah.
Alright, does Slisuke really know what Zaltak is?
Answer no.
No, but he...
Do the J-Mods know what Zatek is? Probably not.
Well, Wilson does, but Wilson's gone,
Yeah.
Not
so...
a J-Mod. So, back in Mystery Land.
Yep.
He says he doesn't. They said he doesn't specifically know who or what Zaltek is, and he's done some study, but he still doesn't know.
Yeah. I love how they don't even have an answer for who made the Frostenhorn. Like, they don't know.
They don't know. They said possibly demon.
Yeah. They may do lore books with mining and smithing for the new ores, maybe. We might visit Aya.
I hope.
I don't know why you would want to.
30 years down the line.
What is the nature of the primordial realm? It's basically the abyss. Might be a place in the abyss.
Backing up for a second, could you remember? Could you like imagine going to Yaya and like suddenly you're infertile? Shit!
Oh God! Shit, Morty. we fucked up, Morty. You already have
It's a good thing it wasn't that type of fantasy game anyway.
Yep. True.
Oh, that's true.
Stuff about gnomes. Wondering if it would be tied into invention. I actually I wouldn't hate if they, progressed it to 6th age and let them touch on invention a little bit, but I'd rather just get the conclusion of Glock's story first.
Okay, I don't remember this question or this answer because the answer doesn't even seem to make sense. The question being, are there going to be any more Elemental Workshop quests?
Probably the audio stuff.
And oh, that's possibly true. But the answer is the Elemental Workshop quests are their own thing and won't be tied into the Elder Gods.
I assume that
What?
the question was, are there going to be any more Elemental Workshop quests? Are they tied to the gods? Like, what's going on with the Elemental Workshop? Yeah, because notice how even the transcript has question marks in it several times. I think the question was more, are we getting more Elemental Workshop quests, and will the gods be tied into it, or does it have something to do with the Elder Gods and the Elder Artifacts? So basically they went, no, they're their own thing. It's not Elder Artifacts. It's not the Soul Altar, thank God.
I think it's more like a Journey to the Center of the Earth type thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I actually, way back in the day, wrote a quest series that was essentially Journey to the Center of the Earth.
So, was that Rune one? Tower of Life?
No, actually, though, that one was trash. No, I did a series that like slowly progressed through the earth underneath the living rock caverns, discovering weirder and weirder warped things. Then, just to make this even more fun, is at the center you found the heart, which was the core of the planet. And then
where all the anima is.
Yeah, and then years later they released the Heart of Gillinor, and I was sitting there like, cool. And it's like I can't even accuse them of ripping it off because I never published the last couple. So, cool.
And then I kind of like this answer for the last question of, are we going to get continuation on Elder God questline? And they go, we went too much, too epic, too quickly. Wow, it's almost as if we told you not to do that with the 6th age quests.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Crazy
possibly
twist.
imagine.
All the players went, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys,
Thanks
don't
for
do that.
listening
Go,
after
no,
we
hang
got
on.
fucked.
Yeah. And then we go, guys, don't do that. That's too much. And they go, no, watch. We're going to do it. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. And then we go, we didn't love that. And they go, oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, well, maybe players just don't like mazes then. Yeah, that's the answer. That's what the answer is. Players don't like mazes.
I mean, we don't like mazes. Fuck mazes.
You didn't like that maze foreshadowing Kindred Spirits? They told you it was coming, right there. Prototyping it out for you.
Alright, that is the lore segment.
It's over. It's done.
It's only been 2 hours.
We've done it. Yeah, we'll split this into 2.
No.
No, I think it's gonna
Do
be 1.
it.
No, it's gonna double my export time. It's 1.
Oh,
It's gonna be 1.
What's the point of 2?
It's gonna be 1.
They're already committing to the whole thing.
Alright. I want to wrap this up.
Thanks for listening, everybody. When we have more time, we'll keep recording stuff. Woo.
Hopefully interesting stuff.
Ooh.
Yep. Still need to get that content I want to make out. I'm just working a lot and have school.
Yeah, I've got some big tests coming up this week and the next couple
weeks.
We're
We're busy college students.
Yeah.
Like, it happened.
We'll get around to it when we got the time. But, these podcasts are easy to record when we can get schedules together. So, throw them together.
We're literally recording. It's 3 a.m. right now. Like, when we say we get schedules together, we mean who wants to lose sleep?
I prefer not 3 a.m, but someone here, cough and cough.
To be fair, you left for the entire weekend, Avernic.
Practically runs on nothing. He just
don't sleep.
And should be dead.
I have really bad insomnia, so I just don't sleep very well.
Same.
But I got sick all of last week, so I basically sounded like this for a week. But
might have made for a better podcast.
I still am not. Like, I talked a lot less in this one because my throat still hurts. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for watching this. Hope you enjoyed. If you made it through the full 2 hours, again, we salute you. Thank you for taking the time.
Go get yourself a cookie.
Yeah, go get yourself several cookies, probably. It's worth it. It's really worth it. And, yeah. Thanks, guys. We will catch you next time when we get some content out.
Bye.
Bye.